go.
To meet the needs of friends, the Aurora series will have both Chinese and English versions. The Chinese version link is below. Today, we're going to the World Ice Art Championships to try the ice slides.
Woo!
Since we only went to bed after watching the Northern Lights at 3 a.m., our morning was pretty relaxed. We had breakfast at 9:30, right before the hotel stopped serving it. Today there were biscuits and gravy, which I love, but it's a lot of carbs. We consoled ourselves by doing a bit of exercise. We got ready to head out around 1 p.m. We would be outdoors for almost the entire day, so we had to gear up properly. I wore 4 layers: thermal underwear, a turtleneck, a wool sweater, and a 2-layered ski jacket with hand warmers in the pockets. I wore thermal pants and ski pants with lining. I had hand warmers inside my gloves, clipped in place with hat clips. On my feet, I wore wool blend socks, lined boots, and stuck on some pocket warmers. Did these clothes keep me warm enough? Well, honestly, no matter what you wear, it's impossible not to feel cold at all here. However, they were good enough to let us play outside for a few hours. I bought tickets online in advance. It was $17 each. Yay, we arrived! That's the ticket booth. We exchanged our tickets for paper wristbands at the entrance so we could go in and out freely. The lady there especially encouraged us to return at night, saying it would be beautiful. There was a clear map at the entrance. On the left was the ice sculpture competition area. On the right was the playground. But most important was the public warm-up building. In the building, we could use the bathroom, borrow sleds, buy food, and most importantly, warm up when it gets too cold. Many little kids were bundled up like teddy bears, running around. This little guy probably couldn't even stand properly because of the weight of his clothes. We headed to the ice sculpture area first. Before crossing the bridge, we saw a beanbag toss game and couldn't resist trying.
Oh, nice.
I got 1 out of 6. My coordination really is that bad. The right side led to the public warm-up building, and the left side led to the ice sculpture competition area. This competition had many different categories. Some used multiple blocks of ice provided by the organizers and produced the largest and most spectacular sculptures here. Some used 2 blocks or just 1. There were also novice competition, youth competition, and snow sculpture competition. When we arrived, the multi-block competition had already ended. The double block competition was in progress, and the rest hadn't started yet. Surprisingly, right at the entrance was a Chinese entry for the ongoing double block competition. While other artists were still working, this one was already done and the artists had cleaned up and left. It featured a palace and a lady holding the sun from the Tang dynasty. I racked my brain but couldn't recall any story like this. If you know, please leave a comment. This was the 3rd place winner of the multi-block competition, Welcome to the Jungle, inspired by the Guns N' Roses song. It included the 4 band members. But what stood out most was the leopard next to them.
Wow.
Its fur pattern and the wood texture beneath it were so realistic. It was a true work of art. Even the non-winning pieces were impressive. Second place of the multi-block competition went to Rocket Journey, featuring a rocket ready for launch with a pilot and his dog on board. The expression of the technician at the back was very vivid. This sculpture also had wood and rope textures. I found the angled ice joints fascinating clearly. There was a lot of planning involved. The first place winner, the Queen's Summons, was created by Filipino artists. That's right, the artists from the tropical country won this ice sculpture competition. Their piece had amazing details, such as dragon scales, teeth, and spines on the back. What impressed me most was their control of balance. How did they make two long dragon heads stretch out like that without falling over? Incredible! I really admire these artists working out in the snow. I was frozen after just one loop around, and they do this for days. Amazing! One piece called Final Meditation later won first place in the double block category. Eternal Battle came second, and Hippocampus by a Japanese artist placed third. It was wonderful getting to see their creative process. Since our feet were frozen stiff, we went straight to the public warm-up building to rest. Inside were two maps where visitors could mark where they were from. Besides Americans, there were lots of visitors from Japan, India, and Europe. It's fun to look at them. With an ID, you could borrow a sled here. That explained where all those kids outside got theirs. It's time for us to check out the playground. We tried miniature golf first, but we had to make sure we didn't break our legs.
Oh, coming back again.
This game was hard. I tried many times. We didn't know how to play this game, so we treated it like ring toss. Ping pong was, of course, hard to play on an ice table, but we managed back and forth 5 times. Unfortunately, no hands were free to take a proof. Beanbag toss game was really not my thing. Because the ice was slippery, even Mr. Wang, who claimed to be like Michael Jordan, couldn't score. Finally, it was slide time. This was my favorite slide. It's super fast, with no control over where you ended up. Little buddy, did you come just to get crashed into? Another slide was shorter, but because there were no divider walls between lanes, it was even harder to steer. This was a rare successful run. There was also a curved slide, which gave me a scare. I seriously thought I might flip. After 3.5 hours of playing, we were starving. So we went to a highly rated place downtown called Soba. Soba serves Eastern European cuisine from Moldova. The Republic of Moldova is near the Black Sea, next to Romania and Ukraine. So the food is similar: cabbage rolls, polenta, dumplings, and so on. I was really curious about many of the dishes on the menu. We started with cabbage salad, but doesn't look like cabbage, right? That's because they gave us the wrong dish, which I just realized. It was clearly a potato salad. However, we were so hungry at that time, we didn't notice and ate it all. It was cold, so we ordered the Zima chicken noodle soup and the borscht red beet soup. Both were excellent. The saltiness was light, just right for us. However, the bread it came with was dry, hard, and flavorless. It was not my favorite. We also ordered crawfish cooked with white wine, garlic, and butter. It tasted a bit fishy, but lemon helped bring out the flavors. My main course was Pельмени pork and beef dumplings. They had no cheese inside, just like handmade dumplings from Taiwan, though without any vegetables. I wasn't used to eating them with sour cream, but dipping them in garlic sauce was absolutely delicious. The fine garlic sauce coating the dumplings was spicy and full of flavor. Mr. Wang ordered mamulã polenta with braised pork and scrambled eggs. The polenta was like corn pudding. It was smooth with pork gravy, and the pork itself was very tender. Moldovan food doesn't seem heavily seasoned, just right for our tastes. For dessert, we had kushma lui guguța, rolled up crepes with sweet cream and shaved chocolate. It was not overly sweet, which was perfect. The bill came in a wooden box, like a treasure chest. At the restaurant entrance, there was an old piano with a sign: "Do nor touch unless you can play Für Elise." My piano skill was very rusty, so I kept my distance. However, during our meal, someone actually did play Für Elise. By the time we finished, it was nearly 7 p.m. We went back to the World Ice Art Championships to see if it was as beautiful as the ticket lady said. The playground became more colorful and festive.
Did I get it first? You got it! Come on!
With the lights, the ice sculptures looked even more striking. The details stood out more.
是武打的哦。
Of course, we didn't miss the chance to slide down the colorful ice slides. It was so fun! But we only stayed an hour because it was super cold. The next day was the day of museums. See you next time!